disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.
Welcome once again to another episode of Fists, Kicks, and Flicks, the podcast about martial arts, movies, and life. I am one of your hosts, Eugene Plowden, and with me this week, my podcast partner, my only podcast partner, Joe Hartley. What's up, man?
Hey, Gene, how's it going?
All right. If this is your first time with us, I want you to know we are members of the Martial Arts Center Network. On Mondays, you got Raw with Mimi and Lump. Tuesday, CTE with Chris, Los, and Travis. Wednesdays is us, Fists, Kicks, and Flicks with Gene, Mike, Joe, and Angel. And on Thursdays, you can get the Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. For more information, you can check us out on all of our social media platforms. Just look for the Martial Arts Center Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Joe, it's showtime.
Yes, sir, it is.
What's going on, man?
You know what? It's been a good weekend, Father's Day weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I ate like a king. I got to do some exercise now because, man, I had burgers and ribs and all kinds of good stuff over the weekend. So
you about to get
real good.
You about to start doing the 2-a-days too, man?
You know what? I'm looking at it. I gotta do something.
You know what, man? So in the mornings I do my cardio exercises in the morning, and then in the afternoon or evenings when I lift weights.
So I was thinking right now, because I get home right now at 8:00 in the morning, and the dog's right there with me. So I was thinking I'm gonna go take him for a walk, and a little extra walk than he's used to, and that'll help us both out. And then when I have breakfast, shower, go to sleep, and then when I wake up, I was gonna lift some weights, maybe hit the bag a little bit.
I'm surprised you're not going home and just crashing.
A lot of times I do, but with the kids off and the wife actually home, it gives me a little more free range. So, but usually I like to come home and crash because I get up earlier than most people, so I can still have some family time with the kids and the wife. So,
how's that? How is that working for you? As far as like everybody's home and you're trying to sleep.
I run a fan and I'm a pretty hard sleeper. So once I'm out and things get going, I can stay out pretty good. I'll get a solid 5 or 6 hours. That's all I need. Okay.
Yeah, man. Okay. I'm a light sleeper. I'm not a heavy sleeper at all. I've always been like that. So I think that would be a little bit of a challenge. Well, it depends. If I'm dead tired, then I will be knocked out. But I'm pretty much a light sleeper. Yeah, man, my weekend was all right. It was pretty cool, man. Like I said, on Friday, I recorded the first podcast of IDGAF, my new podcast with my partner, Dwight Franklin, D. Frank. So that'll be coming out. Hopefully I can get this posted sometime this week because we were wilding out on the podcast. And it's it is not family friendly. It's not at all.
It's all good.
And then Saturday, man, like I stayed up late, recording the podcast. Saturday, I got up, I did my workout, and then I laid back down.
That's where you are wrong.
And I took a nap, man, and I pretty much slept the whole day away until like 4:00. And then my cousin had a birthday party, so I went to her birthday party. Me and Crystal had a good time, and I had some drinks, man, and I have not had anything to drink in a long time. And I had 5 drinks and a shot.
Oh, see, there you go. When I go to my mother-in-law's, her boyfriend, he's got a really nice liquor cabinet, and he likes to give me all kinds of stuff. So, and I'm like, you know what? This good stuff. So yeah, I bring it on. And then my wife's like, oh, you know what? Let's give him some coffee.
And then on Sunday, like you said, man, it was Father's Day. I'm always, when it comes to buying gifts for my dad, man, I kind of already know what I want throughout the week. So I normally wait to go pick the stuff up. I don't, just get it on Wednesday. So I picked up Champ, took him with me to have him involved in picking out my dad's gifts. So we picked him up a couple items, and then we went over to his house and stayed over there for the rest of the afternoon and evening and played race cars. And man,
yeah, I seen you guys online.
I don't know what's up, man. I do not understand this. I do not understand what is happening to me. It's like everything that I used to do as a kid. It's like when you hit a certain age, you just can't do that shit no more. I don't know what happens to you.
What do you mean, the race cars?
Yeah, man. Champ is beating me in race cars. Champ beats me in video games.
The video games I get, they play more than us.
Yeah, man.
I gave up on that. I used to do so for the instead of going shopping on Black Friday, my tradition since I've been with my wife is we stay at home, my father-in-law and I and the kids, and we bring over cousins and friends and everybody, and it's kids versus adults. It used to be Halo 1, then 2, then 3.
Oh, fuck that Halo game.
Oh, trust me. Well, that's the thing. So these kids, man, they were ranging between like 8 years old and 12, killing us. Well, one of the kids turned 18, and then we got us a little more, and a couple of them turned 18. But slowly, we took the video games, and everybody got older, and we less and less. Now it's movies. Now I go over there every Black Friday, and we'll watch as many movies until I pass out.
Okay.
So it's been a fun tradition. But the video game stuff, those kids, they play that stuff 12 hours a day, and I'm playing like 2. So
that's 2 hours a day more than me. I have not played video games like that in a long time.
Exactly.
When it comes to Halo, Trav and his friends killed me on that. Now, I mean, literally, like I didn't even get the chance to enjoy the game. It's like as soon as I woke up from being dead, somebody else would come along and kill me.
Same thing. Because those kids know where all the good weapons are. They're all sniping us from the highest hill. I can't even hide. I can't do it. I'm like, this is not even fun.
Yeah, it's not fun. I know a couple years ago, I turned my Xbox on. I had got some games. I was like, let me play this. I haven't played in a while. Now everything is online. They always want you to play online now. So I said, what the hell? I had an NBA game. I was like, let me play,
Oh, you got smashed.
I did. That kid was talking so much shit. Man, I wanted to reach through the damn computer or the game and choke his ass. He's just talking. I literally was losing by 50 or 60 points. And I was like, I'm not going to come back at this point. Game over,
I did that. I made that mistake a while, 10 years ago. It was the UFC game. I thought I was pretty good at it, right? I was beating all my friends, beating everybody that come over, beating the computer on hard. I went online. I got smashed in a minute. I said, I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing.
Yeah, man. Done. So I've been trying to get back into the games. Every now and then, I end up working for these companies. I worked for Xbox at one point in time. I worked for PlayStation a couple of years ago. So I've gotten, games and stuff and, want to try them out or whatever.
Yeah.
And, and now Champ is getting older, so he's playing games now. And I was trying to play Mario with him, and I just kept dying. And the look that he gave me, he was so disappointed. It was almost like Little Sylvester. The cat, Little Sylvester, his son. When his son would put the bag over his head, like, oh, father. I'm so embarrassed, father. That's what it was like. The look Champ gave me. He was just so disappointed. One point in time,
get a game that and you got to whoop him at it. Put him in his place.
Right. Like one time, I was Luigi and I died, and you come back in a bubble in this game that we were playing, and he didn't bust me out the bubble. I had to just stay in the bubble and just follow him around.
Oh, he said, "Forget you, Dad. You holding me back."
He did basically, right? So hey,
see, I play Mortal Kombat, and I'm good at that one, and so I don't let my son win. He gets mad. Actually, he says he's happy that I don't let him win. But that way, when he does beat me every once in a while, then he earned it.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's get into this movie, man, which I am trying to prolong because I really don't want to talk about this, man.
This was the best one.
I know you're lying to me. I know you're lying to me. I know you are lying to me.
You know what? I'm going to tell you this right now. About 15 minutes in this movie, I'm like, oh, maybe this one's okay. I don't remember if I seen this or not. And then about 20, 25 minutes in, I go, oh no, it's the same old goofy crap. Oh man.
I never saw this movie before. And I think I remember that I can't remember if I saw the trailer before the movie came out, because I remember the kids that were in the movie. Like I remember the I knew that Rocky was a different kid, right? But I don't remember ever seeing this movie, and nothing that I watched ever came back to me. Like I remember this part.
I did see it. I saw it once, and I don't remember it.
Yeah. So we're talking about Three Ninjas Kickback. I did not like this movie. I was thinking about the grading also. Let's do this first. Let's get this shit over with. So the listeners are already gonna know we don't like this shit. So let's just get this over with. What grade would you give this movie?
D.
Okay, I'm with you. And I was going to give it
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter. I was going to give it a Street Fighter. And you know what saved it from getting a Street Fighter?
What's that?
The end of the movie.
Yeah,
I like the end of the movie. I like the very, very beginning and the very, very end. The karate shit they could have left out, because that was the dumbest part of this movie.
That, and they went right back to the well again from the first movie with the antics. More antics, more goofy music, more messing with Grandpa. And the baseball game was garbage, hot garbage.
I didn't mind it as far as storytelling. But
who pauses a baseball game for a week? A kid's baseball game.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know nothing about little leagues and baseballs.
What was up with that? Oh man, the Ed Hockley looking dude.
Well, I mean, you know what? Let me just, I said earlier that the first part of the movie. No, let me just scratch it. The end of the movie is what saved it for me, because I'm starting to remember the beginning of the movie and the kid with the fart. That wasn't funny. It wasn't funny at all, and they kind of just, I don't know. It was just stupid.
Like I said, more antics. We had Bill and Ted were back again.
That didn't even make any sense.
Bill and Ted were back again.
That did not make any sense at all. Why would they do that?
Apparently, they thought it was a good idea.
Did you see what the budget was for this movie?
No.
The budget? Yes. $20 million. And I was thinking, like, what did they spend $20 million on?
Who knows?
Now, do you know how much they made domestically?
I'm afraid to ask.
11 million.
Oh, so they lost.
Oh yeah, they lost.
That doesn't shock me. Did this one go to theaters?
I believe it did. I believe this one went to theaters, and the last one, Knuckle Up, did not go to theaters.
Wow.
So, and Knuckle Up, even though it was made right after the first movie, it came out after this movie.
Yeah, which is weird.
Really, really weird. Really, really weird and stupid. So let's just get into this shit, man. Let's get this over with.
Let's do it.
So once again, it's another summer, and the boys are back training with Grandpa. And like you said, man, it's the exact same thing. They're trying to fight him. They're showing this man flipping around, jumping around, and we just have to just ignore, reality.
And Grandpa does not age well, because he looks older every time I see him.
Well, that's what I was going to get into next. Not about him though. So Rocky and Colt get older, and Tum Tum gets younger.
I know.
That made no sense. None.
We found the fountain of youth, man. All them jelly beans.
And I didn't understand, like, why they didn't even get a kid who resembled Rocky, because this new kid did not resemble him at all.
No, 100%, not at all.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just didn't get it. Now, let me ask you this. Okay, so they're training with Grandpa, and Grandpa wants them to go to Japan with them because there's a tournament in Japan. And Grandpa won this tournament 50 years ago, right? He beat this kid and slashed this kid in the face with this dagger. So he has the dagger. So I guess the winner of the tournament always gets this dagger, right?
Yeah, supposedly.
Now, did they say how many times this tournament takes place?
It must have been every so often, because Grandpa still had the dagger from 50 years ago.
Yeah, so if that's the case, then they're not having it annually. It sounds like they only have it, once every 50 years. Yeah, that seemed kind of stupid. That seemed very stupid. But that's not going to be the only stupid thing about this movie, unfortunately. So Grandpa is going to. The idea is he has to go back to Japan to present the dagger to the winner of the new tournament, and obviously this tournament is only for kids, also.
Yeah, and he wants the boys to train with the Grandmaster.
That's what he said. That didn't even that was the one and only time that was ever brought up. That never happened when they went to Japan. That was the furthest thing from anybody's mind.
I wasn't impressed with the Grandmaster to begin with.
you didn't care for that guy, huh?
I mean, he didn't do much.
Mm-hmm.
He got taken captive pretty easily.
Very easily.
So I'm just saying.
And now the boys really didn't even want to go to Japan. The only one that really wanted to go.
They were into it until the baseball game got halted.
Okay, I thought that was at the beginning of the movie.
No. They were all set to go to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Then the baseball game got halted, and then only Tum Tum wanted to go.
Okay.
And the other two wanted to stay back and finish out the baseball game.
Okay. Now let's talk.
Rocky could care less about either. Rocky wants to stay back for a whole nother reason.
Now let's talk about that. Let's talk about that because they made it seem like Rocky knew who this girl was, or she was going to have a part in this movie because he saw some girl at this baseball game that he liked, and they never brought her back around at all.
Okay, but she put Emily to shame. So kudos. Maybe that's where the budget went. To upgrade our Emily game.
And that's one thing that's consistent about this movie is they always have Rocky liking a girl. Because even in the second movie, even the last movie, it kind of seemed like it was going to be a battle between Rocky and Colt for that girl Joe in that movie. But then I guess he just ended up, passing on her and letting Colt like her. This movie,
good brother.
This movie. So we see a young lady at the baseball game, but they never gave her a name. At least if they did, I don't remember it.
You talking about the one that Rocky liked?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tum Tum called her Lisa something.
Okay, really?
Yeah, he kept saying her name. And then he told the dad why Rocky really wanted to stay, and he said her name again.
Okay. You see how much I was paying attention?
I know. It was like Lisa. So I'm going to have to go back and think about it, but yeah, Lisa something.
But they never, she had no purpose to this movie after that. Like, she never showed back up. She wasn't at the end of the movie. They never even mentioned her again. No,
they really didn't. And she didn't show up for the second part of the baseball game either.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, that was a waste of time. Like, that's stuff that did not need to be in the movie at all. I
love wasting our time in these movies.
You know what, man? I swear to God, I got ready to stop the movie and message you guys and say, why don't we just go ahead and watch American Ninja 2, instead of finish this shit.
Was that bad?
Yeah, man. Like when I saw the antics and things that were going on in the movie, like I just couldn't take it. Like whoever wrote this movie and all of these other movies, they had to have loved Home Alone, and they were trying to incorporate that in all of these movies.
And I think that was their idea. They thought this was the formula. They thought they found the buried treasure, and it was like, no, it didn't work in either of the movies to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could have had better movies just taking out these antics, and sorry, but take out Bill and Ted. We don't need them. Get some real bad guy to go and try and take these kids, even if he gets beat up, give him a fighting chance. But I'm never gonna believe that these weirdo pothead Bill and Ted guys are going to be able to take some kids who have any training, let alone ninja training. It's not believable.
It's not at all. So these guys, so basically so Joe, tell me what was the purpose? What was the purpose of this dagger and the sword? Okay, break this down for us.
Well, supposedly you're supposed to be able to find the treasure. It's the key to finding this treasure.
Okay, now
that's why when Grandpa won the dagger, the other guy, the bad guy, tried to steal it from him.
Okay. So if you won the tournament and you have the dagger, why wouldn't you have gone and gotten the treasure? Why wouldn't the grandfather have done that? My
guess is because the honorable thing to do is accept the dagger, knowing you, and he didn't have the sword either. The Grandmaster had the sword.
Yes, that's right. He did not have the sword.
Is to accept the fact that you're just taking the honor of this dagger, not worried about the treasure. But here's the problem: how are you going to try and steal a dagger you just lost in a fight?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I mean, he didn't even try to trick him or anything. I mean, at least in in the movie Dragon, Bruce Lee turned his back and that dude kicked him in the back. He didn't go try to beat him out to his face. You just lost to this guy.
So why do you think? Why do you think you're going to beat him now if you couldn't beat him before?
He didn't stab you in the heart.
Yeah. You just got sliced across the face.
You just made yourself look dumber.
Mm-hmm. So, but now the grandfather knew exactly where the treasure was. Supposedly. Supposedly he knew. Well, he led them to the treasure later on in the movie.
The treasure what did the treasure really have to, other than just creating a bad guy?
Nothing.
Because you're right. Why are you giving me this dagger that leads me to treasure, but you have the other key? And am I supposed to go get this treasure?
Yeah, nobody said you couldn't go get it. Well, at least if they did, that was not explained. So what is the purpose of the dagger? I didn't understand it. Why am I winning this? I mean, I guess it's just like a trophy. I guess
for ninjas and everything's all about honor. So I'm sure there's a deeper meaning to it, but they don't explain it. They never do.
Right. So, so this guy who tries to steal the dagger from the grandpa when they were younger, he grows up and he's some type of successful businessman in Japan. All right. So I guess he just decided to wait all of these years.
Was he Mr. Miyagi's bully? Was that the same guy?
He was Sato. Sato. He was Sato. Yes,
it was Sato.
Because when I was watching that, that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, he kind of looks like a younger Sato, skinnier Sato. That's Sato.
I was laughing. I'm like, Sato. You play the same exact guy.
Exactly. A successful businessman in Japan, and that still wants revenge for some bullshit that happened 50 years ago.
Now, see, instead of bringing in Bill and Ted, they should have brought Chosen in.
Right.
Chosen would have took care of it. I could believe Chosen. He had no problem.
Well, the kids
young Chosen would have beat the crap out of those kids.
Yeah, most definitely. So, well, anyway,
have Danielson come in and save the day.
So this guy, I don't know, for whatever reason. No, please don't put Daniel in this. For whatever reason, he waited 50 years to try and get this dagger. All of this time. I don't know. Maybe I'm just going to assume that maybe just this tournament happens once every 50 years.
Okay, but why is he waiting 50? Like you said, he could go get the gold right now. But he waited 50 years. Obviously, he knew where Grandpa was.
Yeah, he knew exactly where the grandfather was, and he knew where the Grandmaster was. He could have went after year 10. He could have went and tried to get this stuff. Because he was making it seem like the guy was making it seem like it was a sense of urgency. Like he had to get it right now. Because when he sent those dummies to go get it, he kept getting frustrated with them that they kept failing.
Yeah.
But that's his fault. He shouldn't have sent those guys.
100%.
He shouldn't have sent them, and he shouldn't have sent those ninjas. They weren't any better than the ninjas from the first movie.
Oh, just awful.
Awful writing, awful creative. This
awful
was
everything.
Yeah, this whole thing didn't make any sense, and it was bad. So let's go back to the kids. So the boys are playing baseball, and I'm assuming this is the championship game.
Yeah, they said it was.
Yeah, so the team that they're playing against are cheating. They're doing all these different things to the team, right? And this was making me upset. They were throwing dirt at them. The one kid was passing gas, and he supposedly he passed gas so bad that he could knock everybody out. That was
untying shoes.
Yeah, they were untying their shoes. They were doing all types of things. And then the kids weren't playing baseball very, very well. Now, My first problem I had with this was, why is Tum Tum on the same team as Rocky and Colt? I know I've seen kids play baseball, and I know that kids, they have age groups that they're in every time. Tum Tum, and like I said, Tum Tum looks like he de-aged. He went down. He got younger in this movie, so he should not have been playing on the same team as Rocky and Colt. Now I understand
you can't have a 16-year-old pitching a ball to an 8-year-old. That's deadly.
Right, exactly. Like, imagine if what happened to Colt happened to Tum Tum. And at the beginning of the movie. So like I said, that team was doing all type of antics to the boys. And eventually the pitcher for the opposing team, he threw a baseball and hit Colt in the head. And he wasn't hurt, but he got up, but he was pissed.
He should have been.
Yeah, he should have, and it started a fight. Now, everybody seemed to get on Colt like it was his fault. That made me upset. Like, these guys, I'm like, were you guys not watching the rest of this game? These guys have been doing stuff to us the whole time. And I just got hit in the head. Anything. No one said anything. And I just got hit in the head with a baseball. And his dad was pissed at him. That made no sense at all.
The ump didn't even give him a warning. How are you not going to you got to get a warning, because then the next time you do it, you're out. You're out of the game.
Well, that whole team should have been out.
Oh, yeah, well.
The only thing I guess one of the writers would probably say, well, the reason Tum Tum was on the team was because the dad was the coach. That's the only thing I could think of.
Well, the dad should have also pulled Colt out because he sucked.
Yeah. Well,
he should have pitched hit him or something.
Now, Tum Tum, definitely, if he's going to be on the team, why would you make him the catcher? That made no sense at all.
None
either.
Whatsoever.
Not no little guy, not a little kid.
He's not supposed to be catching those pitches.
He's already not supposed to be on the team, and now you guys have him as the catcher. Ridiculous.
It's just stupid.
So this beginning part of the movie is pretty much setting up the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Because the team they're playing with, that's going to be their major conflict. I would have preferred it if this was just a baseball movie, and I didn't need to see all of the Japanese stuff, going to Japan and fighting, and I don't know.
But the Japanese stuff could have been so much better if they just wouldn't have added all the just take Bill and Ted out, put a real bad guy. Take all the crap with the grandpa too. That's what I'm saying. That's
exactly what I'm talking about.
The rough nurse. That stuff was just a mess.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like that. None of that should have been in this movie. This could have just been a baseball. If this was three ninjas play baseball, I would have been happy.
Yeah. Well, then the other thing. So let's you get to that tournament, and that tournament to me was short.
The tournament was stupid also, but
and they didn't really show any of the skill.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that in a second. I got something else I want to say about that tournament. So the dad gets upset that Colt loses, because when Colt charges at the pitcher, everyone starts to fight. Both teams empty out and they start fighting, and they end up saying that the game is going to be postponed for a week. So now we know what the issue is. Mm-hmm. And like you said earlier, Rocky is not really paying attention. He's not really pitching the best. He's thinking about that girl that he sees in the crowd, Lisa. Yep. So the dad, even though he's the manager of the team, he is a little bit upset with his boys, the way that they played, and he wishes that they were more like him. Now, I was thinking, like, okay, Dad, you saw a couple years ago they helped you. So you should not have any problem with these kids doing karate, learning how to be ninjas.
True.
But he still kind of had some type of feelings about them being ninjas. He still didn't really care for it. And he was thinking that that's why they're always fighting, is because of them being ninjas. Well, they're not just going around picking fights. There's a reason. There's a reason for them always fighting.
Took a fastball to the noggin.
Yeah, and
just let that happen.
I got it playing in the background now, and I'm looking at the kid. Like the kid's passing gas, and he's running the bases, and everybody's passing out. The people in the crowd faint from his fart. Tum Tum faints. The umpire faints. Everybody's faint.
That's just old slapstick '90s crap.
That's the type of stuff that if I would have saw when I was a kid, it wouldn't have been funny to me. I would have been like, "This is stupid." Funny. Yeah, I would have been like, "This is stupid." I don't think I would have laughed at that as a kid.
It was just a bad gag. I mean, like to me, let's spice it up a little bit. If you're gonna go with a fart joke, like bench warmers. Did you ever see the new bench warmers with Rob Schneider? The one kid, and it wasn't even like he was knocking people out. He would sit on and he would say beef stew and then fart into people's face. And yeah, it was gross, but it was funny. It was better than just running around knocking everyone out. And you're eating a can of beans before you go out and play. Come on.
Well, Tum Tum was running around eating also during the game.
He's always eating.
But are you going to go get a hot dog?
You know what? I tried not to
go get ice cream.
I couldn't. I always tried not to eat until after a tournament or something like that. Like
I did too.
I would have breakfast, go to a tournament, and then I wouldn't eat until, or if I did, I'd at least give myself an hour.
Yeah, I couldn't. Like my stomach would have been messed up. I couldn't eat before a fight. I couldn't do it. All right, so let's fast forward. So now, because of this fight, the game is postponed for a week. And like you said, Grandpa is going to Japan. He wants to know how many tickets to get. But the boys, Rocky and Colt, did not want to go. Tum Tum wanted to go, be with his grandfather. They all decided that they would stay. And the grandfather was a little hurt by it. Which is understandable. Did they show how the dad responded to that?
No.
Okay. I was wondering. I thought I might have missed something. Maybe dozed off or something. I only watched this movie one time. I could not watch a second or third time. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I only watched it once.
I just couldn't do it. Okay, so now the bad guy. What is this guy's name? Koga. That's the bad guy. That's the main bad guy in Japan. Did they say what this guy did? Because he had a lot of money. Did they mention?
They did.
Okay. So he is going to send, like Joe has been saying, Bill and Ted, there's three guys who are exactly like the three bumbling idiots that were in the first movie.
100%.
Exactly.
Just three different people, but they're at a bar singing in a band poorly.
So Koga, so one of these idiots is Koga's nephew. And just like in the first movie, except for the bad guy, it was his assistant's nephew in the first movie. So this time it's Koga's nephew, and he wants the dagger. So he sends these guys to America, to Grandpa's house to get the dagger. Grandpa leaves. He goes out. He leaves the boys at home at the cabin, and that's when these guys show up. And the boys think that it's just a random burglary getting ready to happen. So they beat these guys up. And that fight scene wasn't even funny. It wasn't good. It wasn't funny. It was just stupid.
It was dumb.
So when they beat these guys up, the dagger, which was hidden in Grandpa's house, we see it. It gets it was like in a wall, and then I guess one of the boys kicked the guy into the wall, and it came
like
out of the wall.
Yeah, it's like a shelf that was hollowed out. Yeah,
and so they know that the dagger is there, right? So now they're trying to figure out a way to get the dagger, and then for some reason, the boys are getting ready to go back with their parents, and Grandpa is getting ready to go to Japan. So they see the dagger get in a bag, but they don't know whose bag the dagger's in. They think it's in Grandpa's bag.
Yep.
but it actually is in Tum Tum's bag. And then Tum Tum, that's another thing. He put a mouse trap
to protect his food.
Who? From who? Who did he think?
Because that one guy was eating all his food, so he got mad. His Good and Plenty's. He said, "Who ate all my Good and Plenty's?"
That is the first person I ever see eat Good and Plenty. I don't know who keeps them in business because that is some of the nastiest candy.
You know what? My father-in-law, my brother, and my dad, all three like him. Yep. I've said forever. But yeah, I know. So that's three people right there. I know that.
I have never seen anyone eat those, let alone like them.
Yep.
Oh my god!
I mean, the thing is, you have to like black licorice, and I've never liked it.
I've never liked it.
Those three all have no problem with the black licorice.
And obviously, Tum Tum obviously doesn't have a problem with it either because he's using a mouse trap. A mouse trap. Like
that was big for a mouse trap. That
was big. Yeah, I mean, like he didn't think that his own hand was going to get snapped when he decided to get home.
The way he picked it up, it should have, but it's the movies.
I'm talking about in his bag, like when he got home. Yeah. Like, well, I guess he's going to say, "Well, I'm a ninja. I would know how to pick it up." Anyway, man. So anyway, Tum Tum and Grandpa end up switching bags. The wrong bag.
Did their bags even look alike?
They were just black. They were just black bags. Now I think the boys had writing like karate written on their bags. But I don't know what Grandpa had written on his bag. I just know it was a black bag. That's all I know. So that was extremely stupid. 100% stupid. And so the boys go home. Grandpa goes to Japan. I'm gonna fast forward it because it's just really nothing really to talk about. And now when these guys just know where Grandpa is going, also.
Like they got a GPS on them or something.
They knew he was going to Japan, so they followed him. Now this accident. So Grandpa's in a cab. He's on his way to, I guess, his hotel. These guys are in the truck or a van, and they're bobbing their head, listening to music, having a good time, not paying attention, and they rear end Grandpa in his cab. And supposedly he is so hurt. But to me, when he got hit, it didn't seem like it was that big of a deal. The only thing happened was But
if you pop a trunk on a cab like that, you would have had to hit it pretty hard.
You would have. I mean, I would have thought that it would have dented in.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought that the trunk would have just popped up like that. I would have thought that whole back part, if you hit it really, really hard, it should have dented.
Those idiots should have been more injured because they should have had the worst of the impact.
Especially how Grandpa was acting, which I think he was faking.
He was trying to sue the cab company later?
I don't know what the fuck he was trying to do, but he was trying to do something because think about it really didn't look like a bad accident. Like they could have did 10 times worse. They could have made that accident look worse. And it just looked like they just bumped the back of the cab. That's all it looked like. It didn't look like it was something bad. And Grandpa turns around and he sees these guys. He sees the guy with the blonde hair and he sees him waving at him. And then they take off. They grab Grandpa's bag and they take off. And he has to go to the hospital. Now, in the hospital, like he has a neck brace on. He's laying up in the bed. I'm thinking, like, why? Like, you shouldn't be that hurt. One, you should at least be able to walk. Grandpa was going around the hospital in a wheelchair.
Yep.
I just didn't understand. Like, you didn't get hurt that bad. Like, why is this happening?
He goes from backflipping and jumping in trees, and all of a sudden, little car accident, and he's down for the count.
Exactly. Exactly. This motherfucker can jump up in a tree. That's it.
It's like two different people, man.
Oh man, he's full of shit. That's what he is. That's what he is. And I'm gonna bring it up. Why? Because then Grandpa turns around and makes the boys. He gives them a guilt trip because he calls them and tells them that he's in the hospital.
Yep.
So then the boys want to go and see about their grandfather. Why did he need to call? Well, I guess I mean I would assume that he should have told his daughter that he was in the hospital, you know. But he told the kids, and then they decide, well, we got to go see about Grandpa, and because I
think they figured out that the guy was after the knife at that point.
How would I don't remember, but how would they know that?
Because Tum Tum was like, "Where's my bag?"
Well, I'm talking about like when I thought they figured that out when they got to the hospital.
Because, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I think you're right.
Because Grandpa gave the description, and they remembered that was one of the guys that came to the house.
You're right.
Just off of that, they just knew. Oh yeah. Oh, there was a blonde man that came to the house. I don't know, man. They shouldn't have been able to put that. I would have never put that together. So, but let's talk about what they did. So they take Grandpa's card because they have Grandpa's bag.
Yep.
And wait a minute. So they had his bag. They must have had his wallet because they had it. They had his. So how did Grandpa get on the fucking plane without a wallet? Because you got to have your ID.
It's the 90s. It's the 90s, man. You don't need that stuff.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just thinking. I'm just trying to make a little bit too much sense.
How did he pay for the cab?
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Well, obviously I was gonna say maybe he didn't, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's another one, another little problem. Also in the hospital, you know, we get introduced to this nurse who is extremely overacting. Like and she is a bad overactor. Also, she's not even funny. It's not good. No. It's stupid. She's making dumb faces as I don't know what she's doing. Like she's grabbing his leg and, like physical and pulling therapy. They're overdoing it. I don't understand. Like, why they just didn't get somebody that's funny to write this movie?
I don't know.
You know, I mean, oh man, the director.
They thought they were funny enough.
You
know, the guy that plays Colt has some YouTube stuff about these movies. I haven't.
No, I didn't know that. Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna go look it up later, but I'm interested to see what he has to say.
Yeah, because I want to know if he's going to do a review of his own movies.
I think he's his older self has something on YouTube. When I was looking for the movies on YouTube, I ran into it, so I have to check them out.
What did you think about how they purchased the tickets for themselves? So
it's terrible.
This is something else.
First off, $12,000 on Grandpa's credit card. But I mean, I guess it's no big deal because Grandpa was going to buy him earlier.
Yeah, that's right. But this was another thing that was taken from Home Alone because they're using a tape recorder.
Yeah,
they're using a tape recording using Grandpa's voice. When did they record him?
When they were talking to him on the phone, I guess.
Why would they do that? Like, who just turns on a recorder and just starts recording people?
Weird kids, man.
That was the first thing I thought of. Like, when did they record him, and why were they recording him?
They didn't even show them recording him. And yeah, you're right. Why were they recording him?
At least in Home Alone, we saw Kevin recording people, and we know, you know. So when he played the recordings later on in the movie, we knew where he got it from.
Yeah, he had a new toy, and he was playing with it.
Yes, that didn't happen. And then all he had to do, all the boys did after that. So they used this fake voice. So basically, they called the airline to get their tickets, and the airline attendant tells them that they need to speak with the grandfather just to confirm the tickets. So that's when they started playing back the things that they recorded from him, and it just wasn't making any sense. It sounded
especially
dumb.
They started insulting her.
Yeah. Why? I don't even know why they even did that. And then they get in the cab in another dumb scene. They're riding around with this guy, this cab driver, and he's driving wild for whatever reason. And then we see them screaming and making dumb faces in the back of this cab. Just some more overacting and ridiculous stuff. They left a note for their mom and dad.
I know.
They left a note and just left.
So sad. And their purpose was to leave before mom and dad got home.
Yes, and they did that because they know mom and dad should have stopped them. Like, hey, idiots, you can't go there. No, like, maybe the mom might have went. If her dad was in the hospital, the mom probably would have went, to check on him, or she would have went with them. She would have bought the tickets for all four of them to go see about grandpa.
There you go.
Maybe. Just, I don't know, man.
She didn't get the chance.
Yeah, she didn't get a chance. So they end up going to Japan. And they went to the hospital to see the grandfather. He did not seem mad.
Oh, he was excited.
Yeah, he did. He was not mad that he lost $12,000.
I'm not playing with you. He didn't know that. There might be a scene at the end or something where he's like opening that credit card bill.
Man,
$12,000 boys.
Right. But man, would it be that much to fly to Japan?
I mean,
for three people?
Maybe.
That's
because what is that? 12.
That's like 4,000 each.
4,000 each. Yeah.
No, it can't be $4,000 for a plane
flight. I can't imagine.
that seems like an awful lot of money.
Some crazy inflation rates.
Yeah. I forgot also in the when they get to the airport after they arrive, they stop a burglary.
Oh yeah.
A woman gets her purse taken, and Rocky throws a baseball at this guy and hits him in the head and gets the purse. Like, what was the purpose of that?
So they could get in the limo?
I guess, but that
was the only purpose.
I guess, because that's what she does. She was very thankful, and she gave them a ride to the hospital.
My favorite part about that was when they said, "Where do you want us to take you?" They're like, the hospital, and they're like, "Well, what are you sick? Do you have like none of your business, lady?" It's like,
I would have thought that an adult would have been wondering, where are your parents?
Nah, it's Home Alone rules, man. That doesn't apply in Home Alone.
Right. Now, the grandfather tells them that, okay, boys, you have to take the dagger to the tournament for me and give it to the grandmaster.
Yep.
He didn't worry that they're in a foreign country. Like, would you send your kids out somewhere?
No. I wouldn't even want to be out myself.
And grandpa is in the hospital with this neck brace on. Supposedly can't walk. Like that. She should have been in and out. To me, like yes. if his neck was bothering him, okay, I understand because you weren't expecting to be rear-ended. I get that, but having him laid up in the hospital for days, that just didn't make any sense at all.
None of it did, because I don't know if you know, but towards the end when he finally got out of the hospital, not of his own accord, but when he was out, he was back to flipping and shit again.
I know. That's what I was talking about earlier. Like, they snatched that. They snatched that neck brace off of him.
Yeah.
And
took him out of his wheelchair.
Took him out of his wheelchair, and he was just fine. He was walking around fine. That's why I said he was full of shit. Because like,
vacation.
You're not hurt.
He's trying to avoid that hotel fee.
Yeah, so he's just gonna stay in the hospital, huh?
Yep. Let my insurance pay for this.
I wonder what Grandpa did. Like, how do you have money? Because you don't have a karate school.
Nope.
Like, they didn't talk about his history or anything in any of these movies so far. Like, how are you surviving? Like, are you living off the land? Just like you got a house. You gotta have some type of income.
You gotta have something.
All right.
They're gonna do a prequel. It was like Three Ninjas, Grandpa selling insurance.
Oh no, sir! I don't want to see that.
Nobody wants to see that.
Nobody. It was, of course they would have to get another actor, younger person. I think the actor that played Grandpa passed away actually 20 years ago. So, but even though if it's a prequel, it would be another person anyway.
Okay, but we're not far off him like somebody redoing these movies.
You're right about that because this is almost 30 years that these movies came out. So it's about time for.
And then we could get a prequel.
we might get a prequel and we might get a reboot. Honestly,
if they did a reboot, take out all the antics garbage.
I think
if they alone, make it more karate.
Yeah, I think if they ever did a reboot, I think it'll be like the Karate Kid movie where it'll just be one movie. Like, it's no need to redo all of this shit. Like, that wouldn't make any sense.
Or make it a series.
That probably will make more sense if it's a television show. That would make more sense. What did you think of the grandfather's other nurse? Because we had one that was abusive, and then they had another one that was, I don't know. I mean, I
thought the new one was one of the Bill and Ted dudes.
No, I'm talking about they had one come in to give him a shot or something, and it was pretty much a man that was
yeah.
You know, a big guy that was dressed up like a woman, and they showed him screaming.
I would have been screaming too.
Now the boys, they go to the tournament, right? And they're watching the tournament. We see a white ninja fighting. And this white ninja is fighting a blue ninja, right? The white ninja ends up taking out the blue ninja. Something happens and the blue ninja goes away, but the blue ninja takes off the ninja outfit, and then Colt puts it on. And I was thinking, like, well, didn't the blue ninja already lose? Like, why would?
Well, they put a red mark, and then Colt went and told him, no, I'm fine, I can compete again.
So what did he do? Like, did he just say, hey, guy, let me get your uniform?
He just picked it up.
Yeah, so you stole it.
Yes. This is another Karate Kid situation. Okay?
That's right.
Nothing in this movie is its original idea. So everything they do in this movie, it's Home Alone, it's Karate Kid, it's whatever else they can come up with.
So wait a minute. So okay, because this ninja had all of these ninjas have numbers on their back. Right.
Yep.
So what did they think was going to happen? Like, if Colt won, like, they would have said, well, you didn't fight all of these fights. You didn't do anything. You didn't throw these ninja stars or anything.
True.
So I mean, he would have messed up their whole little tournament. Yep. So it's luckily he lost. So he gets in and he fights the white ninja and she beats him. That's right. It's a girl. And she ends up beating him. What did you think of that girl? What was her name also? Hold on one second. She has a Mio. That's her name.
Mio.
Yeah, Mio. And they tried to do that Rocky likes Mio thing.
Yep.
I'm so sick of that. I hope it's not in the next movie because they did that with Colt at the end of the last movie. Colt's going to kiss Joe or whatever they said, which was stupid. So her name was Mio. Now I would have thought they would have tried to talk more about her playing baseball because she also plays baseball. So after this tournament, she is going to go play baseball, but she's not very, very good.
Not good at all
at playing baseball. The boys tried to present the dagger to the Grandmaster. And the Grandmaster does not accept it from the boys because it has to come from the grandfather. Yep. So it's passed down from tournament winner to tournament winner. So I don't know. I would have thought they would have said, like, hey, he's in the hospital. Well, why didn't they just have Mio go to the hospital so he can give it to her?
Well, we wouldn't have had much of a movie then.
Well, this wasn't much of a movie anyway.
And then we would have been happy.
So they said, okay, so they're going to supposedly they're supposed to bring the grandfather back. Mio asked them if they wanted to stay with her at her place. And also they're going to teach her or help her learn how to play baseball. And she's going to help them with martial arts, with their ninja training. And you got anything to say about that, man?
I mean, whatever.
We go through a little training montage also.
Yeah, some baseball, some ninja training, running on the water, all that crap.
Yeah, that's another thing because that came up later on in the movie. I just don't understand why in any of these movies, why when there's always a bunch of ninjas, why they are always so bad. Like you pick the wrong people to be ninjas if you can't beat. At least with the Foot Clan, outnumbered Raphael when he was on the roof, and they outnumbered the Turtles, and they end up having to leave out of April's apartment building. But these guys, these kids, man, anytime they have a bunch of ninjas or something, they just are able to just go through all of them. They beat the whole building up in
they ran away when it got too many.
Yeah,
they did. Out
but
quite a bit more than they should have.
They're kids. A kid can only hit so hard.
Exactly.
And I know they're not lighting up the eyes for every single person that they fight. You know, and if they did, like these ninjas don't have the same type of skills to be able to beat these kids up. Like you shouldn't be a ninja. If you can't beat a kid up, you shouldn't be a ninja.
I agree 100%.
Because you're not going to be able to beat up your enemies.
No, these are like a bunch of white belts.
But we saw them training.
Were they? They need more training.
They were doing something like training.
They were climbing. They were doing some throwing, but were they really training?
Also, it seemed like they were trying to say something about Rocky and his eyesight also. I guess he was embarrassed that he had to wear glasses.
Yeah.
Because he, every now and then, he would put them on or take off or not want to. Mio is trying to teach him Japanese and he can't see the pages, what's written on the pages. So he was kind of nervous about putting his glasses on. He puts it on to read and he looks up and she has glasses on also. Oh,
that's so cute.
And then they're about to kiss when Tum Tum and Colt, they come in. And then the kids, for whatever reason, I guess they're getting ready to go back and see the Grandmaster, right?
Yeah.
I didn't understand this part because I thought they were going to come back to see the Grandmaster with Grandfather, but the Grandfather was not with them. So why were they going back to talk to the Grandmaster? I just didn't get it. It didn't make any sense.
I really have no idea. Maybe to train with them or something.
I wasn't expecting you to say that.
I have no idea. I really don't. Like
they didn't explain it. Okay, I didn't miss something there.
They didn't. No, I don't think so. I don't think they explained it at all.
Okay. Well, you know who will know?
Who?
Mr. Jeffopedia himself. He's probably going to know because we probably missed something. So Jeff, I'm quite sure I'll be expecting your text message, Jeff, because you might know. Now, when they go back to see the Grandmaster, they notice that he's bigger. They know he's different. He's speaking English now also. Oh, yeah. And then, of course, he takes off the mask and we see that it's Koga again. And I guess he tied up the Grandmaster. I was wondering, so the Grandmaster does not have any type of security for himself?
Look, apparently, but then, okay, if that's the case, you don't have no security. Are you supposed to be that good? Because like I said earlier, you suck. There was only 3 people, and none of them seemed to be that skilled. So, when I think of Grandmaster, I think of
well, he was
someone
old
who take
too.
care of business. So what? So was Pai Mei and Kill Bill, but he took care of business.
Grandpa wasn't. I mean, the Grandmaster really wasn't paying attention. He was like sipping tea or something.
Yeah, he was. Then did they put something in his tea?
Probably. That's probably
because all of a sudden he just fell over after drinking the tea.
Yeah, he did just fall over. So maybe they poisoned him a little bit.
But for a second, because then he was back awake.
Yeah, it didn't kill him.
That made no sense to me.
No, because he was bound and gagged, and then Mio found him because she heard him whimpering or whatever, making noises, and she went and untied him, and then that's when they started fighting. And they showed the water scene. They showed Rocky running on the water and, those pallets or whatever.
Yeah.
But the other guys couldn't do it also.
They didn't train that yet.
Rocky just learned yesterday. He shouldn't have been very good at it either.
He's a very quick learner. And he had his glasses on.
So because his glasses on.
Super Rocky.
You can walk on water now.
Apparently. Okay. I don't even know.
He should have been blind the whole time then. Because they were making it seem like without his glasses he couldn't see very, very well.
So maybe he's just farsighted, so he can't see anything like when he's reading up close.
Possibly.
Because my dad used to say that, like when I would spar, because I am pretty much blind when it comes to like reading and stuff without my glasses, and so I had to take them off when I spar. I'm not gonna put my glasses on, give people an extra target or something like that. And my dad used to say, like, how can you see people? I'm like, it's a whole person, Dad. If I can't see them, I know where your face is to kick, and I know where the solar plex is to punch. So.
Did you ever wear those goggles?
Nah, I didn't even try. I fought a couple people that had them on, and I don't know. It kind of just, for me, like I would just kick them right in the goggles. So I didn't want any part of that. Okay. In fact, I got disqualified because I kicked the guy. I roundhouse kicked the guy in the side of the headgear. And his goggles cut like his nose.
Oh, and
they pulled the blood rule on me. And he even tried to say, like, no, I'm not bleeding because of his kick. I'm bleeding because of my glasses. And they said blood is blood, and they disqualified me.
That is so stupid.
And that's the only time I used to fight that guy all the time, and he never beat me. That was his only win against me.
You sound like you want to get that win back.
I mean, I'll take it. Getting DQ'd sucks no matter what, because usually, I mean, I got DQ'd another time for hitting a guy with the axe kick, but I barely even touched him. But he pulled the LeBron James and flopped around. That one ticked me off, because then he told my dad afterwards. He told my dad that he could have really hurt me, but he held restraint.
He could have really hurt you?
That's what he told my dad.
Wow, that's.
And he don't know my dad. My dad was like, "Really? You want to go outside with him right now?"
That's like putting salt on the wound. So he's walking away with your trophy, and he knows that he just fake.
Oh no, I think he got knocked out the next round.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't even. I think because that was my first fight.
Okay.
Yeah, it was dumb.
Let's get back to this whack ass movie. So, they're fighting. I mean, this is a long fight, and okay. So earlier in the movie, I kind of skipped over this part, but. When they got to Japan, they spoke to their mom, and she said that she wanted them to call them every day.
Every day, every 2 hours.
Was that?
Oh no, every day at 2:00.
Okay, that's what I thought it was. Okay,
he said what?
So when they're fighting, one of these ninjas, for some reason, had a cell phone, and they end up taking the cell phone, and they end up calling mom, and they're talking to mom while they're fighting. And they're passing the phone to each other. It just kind of, that type of stuff, it just took me out of enjoying the movie. Well, I wasn't enjoying the damn movie anyway, but it just took me out of the movie.
Every time something stupid happened, you were like, well, they can't get any dumber. And then they do.
Hey, they did.
It was a challenge. Like, you were like, man, we could make drinking games out of these movies, because you'd be like, okay, next time something even dumber happens, take a shot. And we'd all be wasted.
Yeah, we would.
Just stupid, because just more stuff, more stupid. It was just like, just bringing all the dumb. Come on, man.
Yeah. Angel set us up with this movie. That's why he's not on the podcast. Angel ain't watched this shit. He ain't slick. He already saw this movie before he knew it was bad. He was like, I'm not dealing with this movie. I'm going to have them watch it. It's going to be a big joke. He's going to laugh about it.
You told him that before you switched the day, and he still didn't make it.
Right. Yeah, he set us up. Good one. I got you. I'm gonna get you back for this, Angel. I'm gonna get you back. But yeah, man. So this fight was long, and they're running around from different building to building. They're trying to escape. They go underground. And they think they're about to escape these guys. And it's like they get to a point where they have to go up to get out through a well or something. I don't know. Yeah. And all of the bad guys are there. Now, instead of just turning back around.
That's what I was thinking. Like, turn back around.
Just turn back around and go somewhere else. They get captured. That's how they get caught. And they get put in, I guess, something like that, in the guy's ninja training facility. So we see all these ninjas that they beat up. We see them training. And then these guys, Koga sends his guys after Grandpa, and they snatch his ass out the hospital. They actually the three dumb guys, actually, they saw him. They walked right past him. And then that's when some other guys showed up also to grab Grandpa. They snatched the neck brace off.
Didn't the crazy nurse lady throw the Bill and Ted out?
Yeah,
Out
yeah,
the
because
window?
they were dressed as nurses also. Like it wasn't funny, man. It was really, really dumb. And Grandpa, they get Grandpa. So now these guys have the dagger. They have the sword because they stole the sword from the Grandmaster.
Yep.
So they have everything they need. And Grandpa is walking around like we talked about earlier. He does not seem to have any type of neck problems. He doesn't need a wheelchair because he can walk. And he takes Koga to where this
The
treasure is. They have to go down into the earth. They go down through a well. Everybody goes. And they go and they find the location. And I guess I don't know. It looks like it's a door made out of the wall in the ground.
Yeah,
because they put the dagger into a particular spot. They put the sword into a spot, and this door just kind of opens up from the wall. And then they go in, and I don't know, man. This treasure just seems like a big piece of wall that was shaped like a dragon. That's what it seemed like to me. It was. Oh man, I don't know. What do you got to say about that, man? I don't got nothing to say.
They don't even give an explanation what this treasure is, what its origin is. It's like, where did it even come from? It's just, hey, there's some treasure. What is it? Okay, a wall.
Yeah, that's it. It was a wall. And then Koga's there. And this is dumb. Now, earlier in the movie, we see that Colt has a ninja pellet.
Oh,
left.
yeah.
And Koga has the gun on him. He's about to kill everyone. And then Colt throws this little pellet in between, into the gun, and the gun explodes. For some reason, this triggers an earthquake or something. Because the whole place, the whole room is about to crumble down on top of them. They all get out. They all run back to the entrance. They were locked in at one point in time. But for some reason, when they went back to the door, it was like kind of elevated because they sent Tum Tum through the bottom of it with the dagger. And then he takes the dagger and he opens the door back up, and then the door can open up for them. Because when they all went in there, the door closed because they took the dagger out, and the door automatically closed on its own. So I didn't understand, like, when did the door raise up for Tum Tum to be able to crawl underneath to be able to do that? Unless I missed something.
Well, you got to go and you tap on the door 3 times. You say, "Open sesame," and you don't need the dagger. You forgot that part?
Yeah, I guess so, man.
Oh, okay.
And then Koga also has a change of heart. Also, for some reason, I don't even remember why he had a change of heart.
Just like Sato.
Yeah, just for some reason. Like they're all because he Grandpa asked him to come with us.
Maybe Sato recorded both these movies the same day. He's just like, hey, over here you're Sato, over here you're Koga. Don't forget.
So he pulls the sword out also. So Rocky takes the dagger, and the sword is still in the wall. And Koga pulls it out, but he just drops it. I'm thinking, why don't you just take that back to the Grandmaster? Why would you leave that under here? Number one, I don't even understand like why everything is collapsing. There was no reason for it. There was no explosion. There was no reason for anything to collapse the way it did. Like there was big boulders just falling down. Somehow they avoided all of that shit. Nobody got hit.
All that ninja training paid off.
And they end up leaving. Of course, Grandpa and Koga fight, but it's no reason to even talk about that. It was a dumb fight. And they end up getting out eventually, and then Koga has a change of heart. He's going to be a good guy now. He's apologetic for everything that he's done.
It only took 50 years and actually finding the treasure, but okay.
Mm-hmm. And then they're sitting out thinking like, oh, we can still play our game. We can make it back to play our game. They go back to America. And they play in the championship game. This time they bring Mio with them. But we don't see her till later on in the game because one of the players gets hurt. These guys are cheating again, doing their stuff. But this time the boys aren't reacting. They're just pretty much just being punks and just taking it.
Well, they're kind of ready for most of the stuff because they don't change it up at all. It's the same crap.
Yeah, exactly. And then Mio ends up catching a home run, which would have been a home run by the pitcher, and he is upset by that. And we'll see what happens at the very, very end of the movie because of that situation. And Tum Tum and Rocky, they get on base, and then Colt comes up. I really got into the end of this game movie with this baseball game because when Colt hit the ball and it went foul and he had to do it again, I was like, oh shit, they might lose. I was
hoping he was going to strike out. That would
I thought it was going to be some type of some type of teaching lesson.
Yeah,
you know about how to deal with adversity or dealing with disappointment. That's what I thought. I said, oh man, he got to do it again. I wanted him to
strike out. He sucked.
Yeah, he got back up this time, but man, he hit a home run.
Good for him.
That was just, it was a movie home run. Like it blew through the scoreboard.
Yeah.
He put a hole through the scoreboard with his home run, So, but also another nice moment that happened in the movie was they bonded with their dad.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to be awfully pissed when I watch this next movie, if there's issue between the boys and their dad again, because it should have been resolved now. There should not be any more issues.
No, the new one, Hulk Hogan's their new dad, stepdad.
Don't say that, man.
Mom and
don't say. I already don't even want to watch this movie. I already don't want to watch this movie. I'm already pissed. I'm already pissed that Hulk Hogan is going to be in the movie.
We don't even need to watch it.
Oh man, but we got to finish this. I mean, we finished. We watched these other three. We might as well finish this last damn movie.
All right, fine.
But anyway, so they end up winning the game. They won the championship. All of the boys are happy. The dad is happy. They're all hugging. After the game, the players from the other team I guess they're going to plan to fight the boys. And Rocky gets ready to stop Colt, but Colt's like, I got this. But the bully wants to fight Mio because she caught his home run.
And he thinks that's the easiest of the three.
Mm-hmm. I would have thought Tum Tum would have been the easiest to beat up.
Wouldn't we all?
Yeah. And of course, we didn't really see her beat him up, but we heard it. We just saw her do this big flip where she jumps over his head. Of course, she's a ninja. He doesn't know that. He just thinks she's a normal, regular girl. And then we hear her beat him up. And then Tum Tum pretty much says, oh, good night, goodbye. That's it. That's it in the movie. And that's it.
That's all, folks.
Pretty much, because didn't the circle go to him like that?
Yep.
I don't know. And that was the end of the movie. It sucked. I did not like this movie. I would never watch this movie again. This will be on my list of movies that I will not watch again. So if Champ ever want to watch it, I'll watch the first movie with Champ. I will not watch any of these other movies with him. He can watch the rest of these Three Ninja movies on his own. Maybe he can watch it with Uncle Trav. That's what he can do. He can watch it with Uncle Trav.
There you go.
or like he likes to call him, Traveling Travis. That's what he likes to.
Travis. I like it.
Yeah,
that's great.
So like I said, man, I'll give like you. I'm going to give this movie a D.
That's being nice too.
Yeah, it is being nice. But like I said, the only the end of the movie, the baseball game at the end of the movie I enjoyed it. I thought it was a little fake that they made it back in time to make the game,
Yeah, but this movie has so much more potential.
Mm-hmm.
And it just fell flat. They just nope, it's not broke, don't fix it. But it's broke, okay? I'm telling you right now.
All right, so next week we got
the game.
Three Ninjas High Noon next week. I know, man. This is the last one.
I don't think I've ever seen this one.
I've never seen any of this except for the first one. So
I don't even remember this one. I might have seen it. I don't know. But I don't remember Hulk Hogan, so let's see.
Yeah. So
what's he in this? Thunderlips?
I have no idea what Hulk Hogan's purpose. Like I can't even imagine. Like, why would you cast Hulk Hogan?
He's the bad guy.
He's the bad guy.
I'm sure he is.
Oh my goodness! Then he's definitely going to overact.
I seen the cover. He's the bad guy.
Well, get ready for some horrible overacting. That's what that's what we're in for. All right, man. You got anything else you want to say?
Yeah, you know what? I'm challenging our listeners right now. Okay, find a friend, find a loved one, a family member, and take your favorite episode, Fist Kicks and Flicks, and share it with them, and have them listen to it.
There you go.
See if they, I think that most people, would like it, and then then maybe they'll share it. And let's get the word out there, okay? Let's get our numbers up. Let's share this with everybody because we're having a good time, and we want everybody else to have a good time. So
that's right.
Let's
just
do it, okay?
Just
I'm challenging everybody.
Just warn them a little bit about some of the language that some of us.
We're having fun with it, so it's all good. It's okay. But and then afterwards, when you get some feedback from them and everything, share the main gang with them. And the Facebook page and everything, and let's help us out here. Let's word of mouth, okay?
That's right.
So that's my challenge for everybody. Other than that, everyone have a great week, great weekend, and
that's right. And make sure you guys check out Raw. Make sure you check out CTE and check out Inside Scoop. Everybody, stay safe, stay strong. Get ready for Three Ninjas High Noon next week.
Wrapping it up,
director. Play my music.
Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.